Have you ever sensed coldness or actions from someone that made you question their feelings? Subtle signs can indicate something deeper than a simple disagreement. This video will explore clear indicators that someone genuinely dislikes you, actions demonstrating not mere disapproval, but outright hostility. 1. They smiled, yet their eyes betrayed a lack of genuine joy. Understanding the distinction between genuine and artificial smiles is crucial. A genuine smile involves more than just lip movement. It manifests in the eyes and body language. When someone is genuinely pleased to see you, their eyes brighten, exhibiting a sparkle, and the muscles around their eyes participate in the expression. Conversely, a forced smile typically appears only on the lips, while the eyes remain cold, distant, or vacant. This indicates that the individual may not genuinely like you but is maintaining a facade of politeness for social or personal reasons. Why do they feign smiles? Several reasons explain insincere smiles. Maintaining civility. Social or professional obligations may necessitate a facade of friendliness despite underlying antipathy. Concealing true emotions, discomfort, dislike, or resentment may be masked by a false smile. Manipulative pretense. Some individuals feign friendliness to exploit others later. Avoiding conflict. Direct confrontation may be avoided through feigned politeness while maintaining distance. Specific indicators of a false smile. To identify an insincere smile, observe the following characteristics. Discrepancy in eye engagement. A genuine smile engages the orbicularis oculi muscles, causing crow's feet. Creating warmth. A false smile often lacks emotional expression in the eyes. The gaze may appear vacant or cold. Duration of the smile. A natural smile is brief and fluid. A feigned smile may be prolonged or abruptly terminated, appearing forced. Lack of eye contact. Avoiding direct eye contact, or fleeting glances followed by aversion, may indicate insincerity. Asymmetry between mouth and eyes. Genuine joy manifests in both a smiling mouth and bright eyes. If the mouth smiles but the eyes remain unchanged or appear strained, the smile is likely contrived. Stiff body language. Maintaining distance. Avoiding leaning in, or exhibiting defensive postures, crossed arms, legs apart, suggests genuine detachment. Recognizing an insincere smile is crucial for discerning others' true emotions and safeguarding yourself against harmful relationships. A forced smile may indicate deception, underlying conflict, or concealed hostility. This awareness prevents misinterpretations based on superficial friendliness and allows for accurate relationship assessments. Consequently, you can make informed decisions regarding appropriate responses, choosing whether to invest further or maintain distance to avoid potential harm. Responding to insincere smiles. Do not confront immediately if you perceive insincerity. Observe for further indicators before acting. Maintain a neutral yet polite demeanor, especially in professional or social contexts requiring interaction. Establish boundaries. Limit personal disclosures if insincerity poses a potential threat. Trust your intuition. If a smile feels disingenuous, your perception is likely accurate. Do not disregard subtle cues. 2. They consistently seek to avoid you. Why are they avoiding you? Several reasons may explain someone's deliberate distancing. Negative reasons they may dislike you include: they find you unpleasant or hold prejudices against you. Their aversion may stem from your personality, behavior, or even unconscious biases. They might be envious, perceive you as a threat, or simply not want you in their life. They are passively concealing their dislike. Instead of confrontation, they subtly withdraw, declining meetings or events you attend. Their aim is to implicitly signal the relationship's deterioration. They feel threatened by you. If you've surpassed them or possess strengths they lack, they may avoid you to manage their insecurity. They might fear your knowledge of their secrets. They were previously hurt by you. If you unintentionally or intentionally caused past harm, they may avoid you rather than forgive or engage in direct communication. Deliberate avoidance is characterized by subtle behaviors rather than direct confrontation. Several key indicators suggest someone is intentionally avoiding you: consistent cancellation or refusal of plans. While initial excuses may seem plausible, "I'm busy," "something came up," repeated occurrences, especially when contrasted with their availability to others, are telling. Promises to reschedule, followed by inaction, are particularly indicative. Altered behavior during interactions, a shift from friendly engagement to distance, brief responses, or disinterest in your conversation signals avoidance. Ignoring you in group settings or exhibiting discomfort and seeking quick exits upon encountering you further reinforces this. Absence of proactive communication, a unilateral shift in communication, where you initiate contact while receiving curt, delayed, or no responses, is a strong indicator. A test of this is ceasing contact to observe if they reciprocate. Lack of initiative suggests a deliberate withdrawal. Evasive actions in public or online, avoiding eye contact, feigning preoccupation, or altering one's course upon encountering you in person, coupled with reduced online interaction, such as unfollowing, ceasing likes or comments, or ignoring messages despite online presence, strongly suggests intentional avoidance. Addressing the avoidance of a person. First, avoid immediate conclusions. Observe additional indicators. The individual may be genuinely preoccupied or experiencing personal difficulties. Assess whether this behavior is directed solely at you or extends to others. If they maintain close relationships with others while exhibiting coldness towards you, the relationship may be nearing its end. Direct communication is warranted if necessary. If their behavior remains unclear, calmly inquire. I've noticed a recent distance between us. Is there something amiss? Evasive responses or vague answers suggest a desire to discontinue the relationship. Do not persist in maintaining a meaningless connection. If someone consistently avoids you, cease pursuing them. Healthy relationships are reciprocal. If significant effort is required on your part, the individual may not merit your time and emotional investment. Accept the situation and focus on those who value you. Losing someone is not always detrimental. It can facilitate the elimination of unnecessary relationships. Devote your time to those who genuinely care and appreciate you. 3. They do not celebrate your achievements. Instead, they consistently diminish them. Why do people downplay your achievements? Several factors contribute to others' inability to celebrate your successes. Negative reasons, stemming from envy or animosity. Envy. When you achieve something they haven't or can't, they feel inferior, impacting their self-esteem. Instead of constructively addressing this emotion, they diminish your accomplishment to self-soothe. Feeling threatened. If you shared a similar position, same company, friend group, and have surpassed them, they may feel insecure, fearing you will outshine them. They may not want you to be the center of attention or receive more recognition. Lack of genuine care. A true friend rejoices in your success. If someone shows indifference to your achievement, they may not value your relationship. Desire to control your confidence. Some individuals might intentionally dampen your enthusiasm to instill self-doubt and undermine your confidence in your success. Neutral reasons, not necessarily malice, but a lack of support. Differing perspectives on success. Some individuals hold contrasting views on success and may not consider your achievement noteworthy. This can occur if your goals don't align with their values or expectations. Preoccupation with personal matters. Sometimes, a lack of positive response isn't due to animosity but simply because they are dealing with their own challenges. Past negative experiences with similar achievements. If they previously attempted a similar feat and failed, they may find it difficult to celebrate your success. Methods used to downplay success. Individuals may exhibit their envy or lack of support through various behaviors. Apathetic responses to your good news. They offer lukewarm responses like, "Oh, really?" or "That's nice," lacking genuine enthusiasm. Immediately changing the subject. Minimizing language instead of praise. They attempt to diminish the significance of your accomplishment with phrases such as, "Anyone could do that," "It's a small achievement," or "You were just lucky." Shifting attention. They redirect the conversation to their own accomplishments or those of others. Stating, "I achieved something similar, but even better," or "XYZ did far better than you." Insincere or sarcastic praise. They may offer compliments with a sarcastic tone or veiled mockery, such as, "Wow, who knew you could do that?" or "For someone like you, that's impressive." Dismissing effort. Attributing success to luck or circumstance. They disregard your hard work. Attributing your success to external factors. You only succeeded because of connections. Or, it was just good timing. Criticism or anxiety induction. They may not directly diminish your achievement but undermine your joy by highlighting potential downsides. Are you sure you can maintain this success long-term? This industry is highly competitive, don't get overconfident. Now that you've succeeded, be careful. Many people will be envious. Addressing disrespect towards your achievements. If someone consistently undermines your accomplishments instead of offering support, take the following steps. Do not let their negativity affect you. Maintain your pride in your achievements, recognizing the effort invested in attaining them. Evaluate the relationship. If their negativity is persistent, question the value of that relationship. Do not seek their validation. Individuals who consistently belittle you will not provide the encouragement you deserve. Do not attempt to persuade them to acknowledge your success. Limit interaction as needed. If their jealousy is persistent, reduce contact and prioritize those who genuinely support you. Share your successes with positive individuals. Focus your time on those who celebrate your achievements, rather than those who attempt to diminish them. 4. They deliberately ignored you. What constitutes ignoring someone? Deliberate disregard manifests in various ways, from unanswered messages and avoidance of conversation to complete disregard of one's presence. This behavior stems from several potential motivations: a demonstration of contempt, signifying the individual's perceived lack of importance; a desire to sever connection without direct confrontation; an attempt to manipulate emotions, inducing feelings of discomfort, insecurity, or self-doubt, or retaliatory action based on perceived grievances, regardless of the underlying reason. Intentional disregard constitutes a form of passive-aggressive hostility and can inflict significant emotional harm. Signs someone is deliberately ignoring you. Several clear indicators reveal when someone is intentionally excluding you from their life. These behaviors, when observed in conjunction, strongly suggest a deliberate attempt to cut you off. Unresponsiveness or extremely delayed responses. You send messages or make calls, yet receive no response or an extremely delayed one. Even if messages are read, seen, but not replied to. Excuses of busyness or oversight are frequently offered, while interaction with others remains consistent. Identifying factors. Continued social media activity, prompt responses to others, and curt, dismissive replies to you, offering no opportunity for continued conversation, are all significant red flags. The brevity and coldness of responses actively discourage further communication. Deliberate avoidance during conversations. In group settings, the individual consistently avoids eye contact, fails to acknowledge your contributions, and engages with others while pointedly ignoring you. Questions are evaded, met with perfunctory answers, or completely disregarded. Identifying factors. Significant or interesting comments are met with no reaction or are immediately deflected. Engagement only occurs when others mention you, demonstrating a lack of initiative in initiating interaction. Avoidance of eye contact and physical distance. In person, they actively avoid your gaze, turn away, or feign busyness to prevent direct interaction. Within groups, they maintain a physical distance, refusing proximity or actively seeking to move further away. Identifying factors. A lack of greeting upon your arrival, coupled with the creation of excuses to leave your presence when you approach, are strong indicators of deliberate avoidance. Exclusion from shared activities. A noticeable shift from previous inclusion in social events, outings, or group activities signals a deliberate attempt at distancing. Invitations are omitted, and your absence is not addressed. Identifying factors. Awareness of events among others, yet a complete lack of communication regarding your participation, often accompanied by excuses such as, assumed you were busy, or, forgot. Points to intentional exclusion. Lack of social media interaction. A cessation of engagement with your social media posts, previously characterized by likes, comments, or shares, indicates a deliberate attempt to ignore you. This lack of interaction contrasts sharply with continued engagement with others' content. Identifying factors. The absence of support or acknowledgement for significant posts, e.g., announcements of achievements, while maintaining interaction with others' posts is a clear sign of deliberate disengagement. This pattern of behavior, when combined with the other indicators, strongly suggests intentional avoidance. Why are they ignoring you? Several factors may contribute to someone deliberately ignoring you. They may dislike you personally. Your personality may be unappealing, or you may be perceived as a threat. You may have inadvertently caused offense or hurt feelings. They may seek to diminish or marginalize you. Some individuals employ social exclusion tactics to undermine confidence and induce feelings of isolation. Alternatively, they may be experiencing personal difficulties. Their inattention may stem from their own challenges rather than animosity towards you. Strategies for handling deliberate ignoring: avoid overreacting. Do not immediately assume malice. Observe and assess before responding. Engage in direct communication, if necessary, if the relationship is valuable. Consider a direct but gentle approach. I've noticed some distance lately. Is everything all right? Evasive answers may indicate an unwillingness to maintain the connection. Disengage from individuals who disregard you. Do not expend energy on those who consistently ignore you without justification. Focus on appreciative relationships. Do not allow the inconsiderate actions of others to diminish your self-worth. Cultivate relationships with those who value and support you. 5. They offered backhanded compliments. What constitutes backhanded compliments? A sincere compliment offers genuine encouragement and recognition of achievement. Conversely, a backhanded compliment utilizes tone and context to subtly mock or belittle the recipient. Consider these comparative examples. A sincere compliment: "You did a great job. I'm truly impressed by your effort." A backhanded compliment: "Wow, you finally did it. I didn't think I'd ever see the day." The key differentiator lies in tone and context. A sincere compliment fosters a sense of appreciation, while a backhanded compliment induces feelings of disregard or ridicule. Identifying backhanded compliments. Key indicators. Incongruent tone. The compliment is delivered with a mocking or insincere tone. For example, "Wow, you look presentable today." A miracle, or "My goodness, you actually managed to do something competent?" Identifying feature. The compliment feels uncomfortable or embarrassing, delivered with sarcastic inflection, drawn-out words, or unusual emphasis. Derogatory or implicit criticism. The compliment includes an element of subtle mockery or criticism. For example, "I can't believe you managed that. Impressive," or "Your outfit looks passable today." A change from usual. Identifying feature. The compliment is accompanied by a backhanded remark, diminishing its value. The recipient feels uneasy, as if their usual performance is considered substandard. Excessive emphasis and exaggeration. Backhanded compliments are sometimes delivered with an overly dramatic tone, suggesting playful mockery rather than genuine praise. For example, "Oh my God, you look like a Hollywood starlet today," said sarcastically, or "The world must have stopped spinning when they heard of your success." Identifying feature. The excessive praise feels unrealistic, making the recipient feel teased rather than acknowledged. Implied lack of merit. The compliment suggests the recipient is undeserving of their accomplishment. For example, "Oh, you won that award too. Must have been an easy competition." Or, "Surprising you got promoted. Who would have thought?" Identifying feature. The compliment casts doubt on the recipient's abilities. Their efforts are not genuinely acknowledged. Instead, luck is implied. Subsequent comparison to diminish. The compliment is followed by a comparison to another person, highlighting the recipient's inferiority. For example, "You play pretty well, but you're no match for A," or "Your project is good, but B's would have been even better." Identifying feature. The compliment is quickly negated by an unnecessary comparison. Genuine acknowledgement is absent. The intention is to make the recipient feel inadequate. Why do they offer backhanded compliments? Several reasons explain the use of such toxic praise. Envy. They may refuse to acknowledge your achievements or strengths, subtly diminishing you through sarcastic compliments. Control and manipulation. Individuals seeking to control or manipulate others use backhanded compliments to undermine your confidence and make you feel inadequate. Dislike. If someone harbors negative feelings or dislikes you but must maintain a facade of politeness, they might resort to backhanded compliments instead of expressing their true feelings. Responding to backhanded compliments. Maintain self-confidence. Recognize that such remarks reflect the speaker's negativity, not your inherent qualities. Respond calmly and intelligently. If sarcasm is intended, remain composed. A calm or humorous response will neutralize their intent. For example, to, "Wow, who knew you were capable of that?" Reply, "Yes, sometimes I surprise even myself." Directly address persistent behavior. If backhanded compliments are used repeatedly to demean you, state clearly, "Do you genuinely believe that? Or are you being sarcastic?" Limit interaction. For consistently negative individuals, minimizing contact is advisable to protect your well-being. 6. They consistently offer unwarranted criticism. Unjustified criticism is defined as negative evaluation or critique lacking clear rationale. Constructive criticism aims for improvement, offering clear reasoning and solutions. For example, "I believe this alternative approach may yield better results." Conversely, malicious criticism, lacking justification, seeks to demean without basis or through personal attacks. Examples include, "Why do you always make mistakes?" or "Your method is ridiculous." Signs of unfair criticism. Criticism of everything, regardless of your actions. Your efforts are met with negativity. Even successes are undermined through exaggeration of minor flaws or negative commentary. Example, completing work on time elicits, "That was fast, must have been sloppy." Improved appearance prompts, "What's with the sudden change? Trying to impress someone?" Indicator, positive attributes are ignored in favor of fault-finding. Lack of specific reasons. Requests for clarification are met with evasion or illogical responses. Vague statements like, "I just feel that way," or "I don't know, it just looks wrong," are common. Example, an opinion shared in a meeting is dismissed as unconvincing. A new style is deemed unsuitable. Creativity is met with, "Why do you always have to be different?" Indicator, explanations lack logic, relying solely on personal feelings. Criticism despite faultless actions. Even correct actions are twisted to make you feel at fault. Situations are manipulated to sow self-doubt. Example, offering assistance results in, "Think I need your help?" Silence is interpreted as cold and unfriendly. Cheerfulness is deemed too loud. Indicator, any action provides grounds for criticism. Use of demoralizing language. Criticism targets your character, not your actions, fostering feelings of inadequacy. Instead of, "This could be improved," the critique becomes, "You always mess things up." Example, "You never do anything right. You're too slow. Nothing you do is efficient. You're a failure." Indicator, the goal is to diminish your self-worth, not to offer improvement. Public humiliation. Criticism is delivered publicly to embarrass and undermine your confidence. The intent is to inflict public harm. Example, in a meeting, "Why is this taking so long? Everyone's waiting on you." Among friends, "She's always so slow. Everyone knows it." Indicator, public settings are deliberately chosen to demean you. Criticism without solutions. Constructive criticism offers solutions. This type of criticism lacks any intention to help. Example, "Your approach is terrible." When asked for improvement suggestions, there is no response. "Your presentation was incomprehensible." Further inquiries are avoided. Indicator, the goal is to make you feel bad, not to facilitate improvement. Why are they criticizing you without justification? They envy you. They perceive you as superior or possessing something they lack, thus attempting to diminish you to bolster their self-esteem. They seek to control you. Some individuals employ constant criticism to erode your confidence, rendering you dependent upon them. They dislike you but avoid direct confrontation. Rather than openly expressing their aversion, they manifest it through persistent criticism, subtly encouraging your withdrawal. They harbor personal psychological issues. Certain individuals maintain a consistently negative and acerbic disposition, projecting their frustrations onto others rather than confronting their own problems. Effectively addressing unjustified criticism, maintain emotional detachment. Recognize that the issue stems from the critic, not you. Seek clarification. If criticized, ask, "Can you elaborate on why you believe that?" A lack of substantiation suggests their intent is to belittle you. Limit interaction. Restrict contact with individuals who consistently offer unwarranted criticism. Cultivate supportive relationships. Prioritize those who uplift you. rather than those who seek to diminish your value. 7. They habitually compare you to others. Continuous comparison involves evaluating someone against another deemed superior, more successful, or possessing more desirable qualities. This is a negative assessment that diminishes one's self-worth. Examples include, why can't you be more like them and excel at everything? They perform far better than you. Why can't you achieve the same? Learn from them. You never do things correctly. Recognizing when you're being compared to others. Consistent comparison to a specific individual. If you are repeatedly compared to the same person, particularly someone presented as superior, this indicates an unfair benchmark is being applied. The individual used for comparison may be perceived as flawless, creating an unattainable standard for you. Examples. Why can't you be as academically successful as her? Your work will never match his. She always works faster than you. Right arrow indication. You feel constantly measured and never afforded the opportunity to demonstrate your unique capabilities. Comparisons designed to diminish self-worth. These comparisons are not intended to motivate improvement but to undermine your self-esteem. A negative contrast is created, highlighting your perceived shortcomings. Examples. Comparing your work to his reveals a stark difference. Others are far more competent, you'll never achieve their level. Right arrow indication. You experience hurt feelings and diminished self-confidence due to constant unfavorable comparisons. Dismissal of your efforts and achievements, instead of acknowledging your successes and progress. Your accomplishments are downplayed by citing someone else's superior performance. Your achievements are negated or devalued through comparison. Examples. Given your performance, why can't you be more like him? Your work doesn't compare to his. He's been doing this for years and excels. Right arrow indication. Your value is not recognized. Instead, efforts are made to diminish your self-worth. Comparison is a control mechanism. Comparisons may serve as a tool to manipulate your behavior and emotions. Others are used as benchmarks to pressure you into exceeding expectations or conforming to desired actions. Examples. If you worked like her, everything would be fine. Why don't you do it like her? She's the only one I trust. Right arrow indication. You are pressured to live up to someone else's standards, potentially leading to undue pressure to comply with the desires of others. Why do they compare you to others? They intend to motivate you, but in the wrong way. Some believe comparison spurs improvement, however. This often induces feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. While their intentions may be well-meaning, the method is counterproductive. They are envious. Their discomfort with your achievements may manifest as comparisons designed to diminish you and elevate themselves. They lack respect. Disrespectful individuals readily compare you to others, failing to recognize your inherent worth. They impose unfair standards, judging you through the lens of comparison. They seek control and to shape your behavior. Such comparisons serve as a means of control, compelling conformity to their expectations rather than allowing for individual growth. Effectively addressing constant comparisons to others. Acknowledge and assertively express your feelings. If comparisons cause you distress, directly communicate your feelings. State calmly but firmly, I am uncomfortable being compared to others. Each individual possesses a unique way of self-expression. Insulate yourself from the impact of comparisons. Remember your individuality. Do not allow others' standards to dictate your self-perception. Recognize and affirm your own achievements and inherent value. Limit exposure to individuals who frequently compare you. If unfair comparisons are persistent, limit or cease contact to safeguard your mental well-being and self-confidence. Focus on self-improvement and personal growth. Instead of dwelling on comparisons, concentrate on your personal journey. Measure your progress against your past self, not against others. 8. They deride your vulnerabilities. When someone mocks your weaknesses, it constitutes a disrespectful and inconsiderate act that can inflict profound damage on your self-esteem and confidence. Such mockery transcends simple teasing. It represents a contemptuous disregard and devaluation of another individual. Let us delve into a detailed analysis of this behavior. The significance of mocking weaknesses. Mocking someone's weaknesses can manifest as sarcasm, taunting, or criticism devoid of empathy for the target's feelings. Instead of offering compassion or support, the perpetrator inflicts harm by exaggerating, ridiculing, and exploiting vulnerabilities. flaws, or failures. Examples include, "You're so stupid. You get everything wrong. You can't even do that. Anyone can do that. Need help again. Can't you do anything yourself?" Identifying when your weaknesses are being mocked. Derisive humor targeting your weaknesses. Openly ridiculing your vulnerabilities without regard for your feelings is a clear indicator. This can encompass physical appearance, work performance, or other aspects of your personal life. Such mockery, often performed in front of others, aims to humiliate and diminish you. Examples: "You messed that up again. Anyone could do it. Look at you. So clumsy. I don't understand how you manage." Repetitive mocking. The consistent and deliberate targeting of your weaknesses, establishing a pattern of behavior, unequivocally demonstrates a lack of respect. This reveals an intentional focus on your vulnerabilities as a source of amusement. Examples: "I have to keep telling you this, you never remember. Do you? Keep this up, and everyone will laugh at you." Exploitation of difficulties and failures. Using your struggles or setbacks as opportunities for ridicule and belittlement is particularly insidious. This transcends mere teasing, it exploits your vulnerability to inflict emotional pain. Instead of encouragement, your suffering becomes a source of amusement. Examples: "See, I told you, you couldn't do it. If you just paid attention, you could have avoided this failure." Underlying motivations for mocking weaknesses. Insecurity and the need to diminish others. Some individuals mock others to compensate for their own feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. Belittling others provides a temporary sense of superiority and power. This behavior, however, ultimately reveals their own weakness. Lack of empathy and respect. Mocking another's weaknesses demonstrates a profound lack of understanding or concern for their feelings. It reflects a failure to recognize the potential for significant emotional harm. Control and the creation of dependency. Mocking can be a manipulative tool used to exert control. By making the target feel weak and incompetent, the perpetrator fosters dependence and compliance. This undermines the target's ability to resist manipulation. Emotional immaturity. The act of mocking weaknesses often indicates a lack of emotional maturity. A failure to develop the necessary social skills to understand and respect boundaries. The impact of mocking weaknesses. Emotional trauma. Mocking can inflict significant emotional damage, leading to feelings of low self-worth, shame, and self-doubt. These effects can be long-lasting and detrimental to self-esteem. The individual may become overly sensitive to criticism and withdraw from social interaction. Strained relationships. Persistent mockery erodes relationships, fostering resentment and distrust. The targeted individual will likely feel disrespected and withdraw from the interaction. This undermines the foundation of trust and creates a hostile environment. Anxiety and low self-esteem. Repeated mockery can lead to self-doubt and anxiety, causing the individual to avoid new challenges or opportunities for fear of further ridicule. Responding to the mocking of weaknesses. Assert your boundaries. Do not tolerate this behavior silently. Respond assertively but calmly. Statements such as, "I don't appreciate your comments about my weaknesses. Please show more respect," or, "That's not okay, please stop," are effective. Maintain self-confidence. Remind yourself that everyone has weaknesses. This does not define your worth. Focus on your strengths and work on areas needing improvement. Limit exposure to negative individuals. If the behavior persists, limit contact with those who disrespect you. Surround yourself with supportive individuals who foster a positive environment. Prioritize mental well-being. Engage in self-care activities to mitigate the impact of negative interactions. This includes exercise, hobbies, and spending time with supportive friends. 9. They failed to provide assistance during times of difficulty. When individuals fail to offer support during times of hardship, it signals a potential deficiency in respect, empathy, and genuine care within the relationship. Mutual support is an indispensable component of any healthy relationship, be it platonic, familial, or professional. A lack of support, or even a refusal to assist when needed, can have profoundly negative consequences for one's emotional well-being and self-esteem. The significance of support during adversity. Providing assistance to others facing difficulties is a demonstrable expression of love, concern, and relational commitment. This support can manifest in various forms, encompassing emotional encouragement, practical aid, and even financial or material assistance. When confronted with significant challenges, individuals naturally seek empathy and support from trusted confidants. A true friend will remain steadfast not only during moments of joy but also during periods of adversity. Examples include workplace assistance, a colleague aiding with a project; emotional support, a friend providing a listening ear during distress; and material assistance, financial aid or practical help with tasks such as transportation or repairs. Identifying signs of lack of support: ignoring requests for assistance, failure to respond to requests for help, even after clearly communicating a need or difficult situation, is a strong indicator of disinterest. Ignoring or dismissing requests constitutes a blatant disregard for the individual's well-being. Example: a direct request for help, "Can you assist me with this problem?" is met with silence or evasive excuses without offering alternative solutions. Indifferent or unenthusiastic responses: instead of offering assistance, the individual provides cursory advice or displays apathy. A lack of concern for the individual's emotional state or circumstances is evident. Example: "I don't know how to help you. You'll have to figure it out yourself. You should be able to handle this, you don't need my help." Frustration or resentment when assistance is requested. Rejection is accompanied by annoyance, blame, or complaints about the burden of providing assistance. This can leave the individual feeling burdensome, despite their genuine need for support. Example: "Are you always in trouble? Stop relying on me so much. I'm very busy. Why are you asking me for help now?" Criticism or blame during hardship. Instead of offering support, the individual criticizes or blames the individual for their predicament. This not only fosters feelings of abandonment but also induces shame and self-doubt. Example: "If you were more careful, this wouldn't have happened. It's your fault. Why should I help you?" Lack of encouragement or consolation during distress. Emotional or mental hardship is met with indifference, lacking any encouragement or comfort. This absence of empathy creates a sense of isolation and underscores a lack of shared understanding within the relationship. Example: "Don't worry, everyone faces difficulties. I don't know what to do. You'll have to manage it yourself." Reasons for lack of support. Empathy deficit. The individual may lack empathy and fail to comprehend the emotional impact of the hardship. They may not recognize the importance of support during difficult times or understand the value of shared burdens. Lack of regard. The absence of support may indicate a lack of sufficient regard for the individual to invest time and effort in assisting them. In some cases, this reflects a devaluation of the relationship and a self-centered perspective. Personal hardship. The individual may be facing their own challenges, hindering their ability to provide support. They may lack the capacity to offer assistance, whether emotional or material. Belief in self-reliance. Some individuals believe in the importance of self-sufficiency and discourage reliance on others. They may believe the individual should manage their problems independently, even when support is crucial. Impact of lack of support. Emotional trauma. Lack of support can lead to feelings of loneliness, abandonment, and betrayal, potentially eroding trust and creating insecurity within the relationship. The individual may feel undervalued and unappreciated. Erosion of relational bonds. Healthy relationships require mutual support and connection. The consistent absence of support can destabilize and ultimately fracture the relationship over time. Increased dependence. The lack of support may foster dependence on others for emotional or practical assistance, potentially leading to avoidance of the unsupportive individual and the pursuit of support elsewhere. Addressing lack of support. Communicating feelings. Openly express feelings of hurt and disappointment resulting from the lack of support. Clearly articulate the importance of support within the relationship. Example: "When I face difficulties, I genuinely need your support. I'm disappointed you weren't there for me." Seeking alternative support. If support is consistently unavailable, seek assistance from alternative sources, such as friends, family, or colleagues. Cultivate a robust support network. Re-evaluating the relationship. If the lack of support becomes a persistent pattern, Critically assess the relationship and determine whether the individual genuinely values the connection. 10. They contact you solely to cause you distress. When someone approaches you with the intention of making you feel worse, they are exhibiting disrespectful, toxic, and unempathetic behavior. Their actions or words can inflict emotional harm, diminish your self-worth, and erode your self-esteem. This is a clear indicator of a toxic relationship where the individual not only fails to offer support but actively seeks to cause you distress. The significance of malicious approach. Approaching someone with the intent to inflict negativity can manifest in various forms, ranging from hurtful words to deliberate actions designed to induce shame. Their primary objective is not to help or show concern, but rather to control, inflict harm, or impede your personal growth. This behavior may stem from individuals harboring resentment, jealousy, or a fundamental inability to accept you for who you are. For instance, a supposed friend might feign concern while consistently undermining your self-confidence. Another might persistently seek opportunities to ridicule or shame you for minor life setbacks. Identifying malicious intent. Disrespectful language. Such individuals consistently employ hurtful or non-constructive criticism. Their words may be overtly insulting or designed to make you feel inadequate. Examples include, "Why are you so incompetent? You'll never be any better." Or, "Everyone else can do it, you're simply incapable." Dwelling on past mistakes. Whenever you encounter a problem or make a mistake, they unnecessarily reiterate it, potentially in front of others or in irrelevant contexts. This creates a sense that you cannot overcome past failures. Examples include, "Remember how you messed that up last time? You'll probably do the same thing again." Or, "Clearly, you haven't learned anything from your previous mistakes." Sarcastic or mocking advice. Their advice is rarely genuine, instead, it's laced with sarcasm or mockery. They may offer impractical suggestions solely to reinforce your perceived inadequacy or lack of capability. Examples include, "If you try that, you'll undoubtedly fail. But what do I know?" Or, "You might succeed, but I highly doubt it." Intentional humiliation and undermining. They consistently strive to humiliate you or erode your self-confidence. This can involve words or actions designed to make you feel inferior or unworthy. Examples include, "I can't believe you did that. Anyone should know how to do something as basic as that." Or, "You were so confident. Why didn't you think this through?" Eliciting negative emotions. They proactively bring up sensitive topics or personal issues you wish to avoid, solely to pressure you and cause discomfort. Examples include, "You must feel terrible that people don't trust you, right?" Or, "Don't worry. Everyone fails like you sometimes." Motivations behind malicious behavior. Jealousy. A common reason is envy. Witnessing your success, happiness, or positive achievements triggers a desire to diminish your perceived superiority, thus undermining your confidence and accomplishments. Insecurity and self-enhancement. Some individuals lack self-confidence and attempt to elevate themselves by making others feel inferior. Demeaning others can provide a false sense of power within the relationship. Control. The individual may aim to control and exert dominance. By making you feel inadequate or insecure, they maintain control and power dynamics within the relationship. Lack of understanding or empathy. Sometimes, their actions stem from a lack of understanding or empathy. They fail to recognize the harm caused by their behavior and are oblivious to the impact of their words and actions on your emotions. Maintaining a sense of superiority. They may harbor a fear of being outdone and feel compelled to maintain a sense of winning in all situations. To achieve this, they make you feel bad about yourself to preserve their perceived victory. Impact of malicious interactions. Emotional trauma. This behavior can severely damage your self-esteem and sense of self-worth. You may feel inadequate, unworthy, and lack confidence in your decisions and social interactions. Loneliness and isolation. The relationship can foster feelings of loneliness, as you constantly feel unable to share positive experiences or be yourself comfortably around this person. Erosion of trust. Experiencing such negativity can lead to a loss of faith in others. This can make you more suspicious and defensive in future relationships. Responding to malicious behavior. Establish clear boundaries. The most effective approach is to set firm boundaries. Let them know that you will not tolerate their negative behavior or language. Examples include, "I will not tolerate such language. If you continue, I will cease contact." Distance yourself. If the individual refuses to change their behavior, severing the relationship may be necessary. Protecting your well-being is paramount. 11. They are speaking negatively about you behind your back. Backstabbing is a dishonest, disrespectful, and unreliable behavior. Such actions inflict significant damage on relationships, personal reputation, and mental well-being. It's a clear indicator of a toxic relationship, where the individual not only lacks honesty but also deliberately attempts to negatively influence others' perceptions of you. The significance of backstabbing. When someone speaks negatively about you behind your back, they typically share negative judgments, criticisms, or misinformation with others without directly confronting you. This might be a way for them to feel superior by making you appear inferior. However, it demonstrates a lack of courage and respect for direct, honest communication. For example, a friend or colleague might spread falsehoods or exaggerate situations to portray you negatively. Recognizing backstabbing. Contradictory words and actions. They may appear friendly and respectful in person but criticize or mock you in your absence. This is a clear sign of dishonesty and disrespect. For example, they might praise you to your face but then negatively judge you behind your back. "She really doesn't know anything about this job." Damage to reputation. Their words can harm your reputation. They might exaggerate the truth or fabricate stories to make you appear unfavorable. For example, "He always has a bad attitude, but everyone thinks he's sociable." Or, "She's really unreliable. I've seen her do many questionable things." Lack of evidence. Their claims are often baseless, untrue, or inaccurate speculations. They lack evidence to support their statements, relying instead on assumptions or subjective opinions. For example, "I think she's definitely hiding something. Maybe another relationship." Or, "I guess he's untrustworthy. Maybe for some reason he doesn't share everything." Consistent behavior across social groups. This behavior is evident across various social contexts where you are absent, such as meetings, parties, or private conversations. For example, they might discuss your flaws with colleagues when you're not present or gossip about you in social groups you don't belong to. Why people backstab. Jealousy or envy. A common motive is jealousy of your success, relationships, or attention. Jealous individuals may attempt to diminish you to lessen your prominence and boost their own self-esteem. Self-image enhancement. Some people backstab to improve their own image or convince others of their righteousness. They might use it to gain favor or appear innocent. Low self-esteem. Individuals who backstab often lack self-confidence and self-worth. Demeaning others can make them feel superior and more secure. Conflict creation. Some deliberately backstab to cause conflict or division between you and others. This can be a manipulative tactic to control situations or social dynamics. Lack of courage. Instead of directly addressing issues or disagreements, they resort to backstabbing, demonstrating immaturity and a lack of courage. Impact of backstabbing. Damaged self-esteem. Being backstabbed can cause emotional harm and lower self-esteem, leading to feelings of disrespect and unfair criticism. Erosion of trust. Discovering someone is backstabbing you erodes trust in that person and can damage relationships with others in the same social circle. Conflict and tension. Backstabbing creates tension and conflict between you and those affected. The victim might express disappointment or confront the perpetrator. Lost opportunities. In a professional setting, backstabbing can lead to lost opportunities or damage your reputation, creating a negative impression and hindering your advancement. 12. They derive satisfaction from your setbacks. The significance of celebrating another's failure. When an individual expresses joy at your setbacks, they may be welcoming or mocking your difficulties or lack of desired outcomes. This not only diminishes your self-confidence and self-esteem but also reflects indifference or even malicious glee at another's suffering. Such individuals may lack empathy and instead derive satisfaction from witnessing your failure. For example, a friend might react to your failure to achieve a significant goal not with empathy, but with overt joy and ridicule. Identifying signs of malicious rejoicing. Manifestations of glee or schadenfreude upon your failure in a task or significant objective. They exhibit joy or even mockery. Their response may extend beyond silence to include laughter or overt satisfaction at your hardship. Examples include, "Oh, you finally failed. I figured as much." Or, "See, I told you so." Your failure is unsurprising. Absence of empathy or support. Instead of offering comfort and encouragement during hardship, they remain silent or dismissive, exhibiting no empathy or willingness to assist. This leaves you feeling abandoned during a time of need. For example, after sharing a setback in a competition or project, they offer no assistance, instead choosing to laugh or make negative comments. Emphasis on your failure. They may repeatedly mention your failure or discuss it derisively, preventing you from moving forward and learning from your mistakes. Their intent may be to perpetually remind you of the failure as a means of diminishing your self-worth. Examples include, "Remember that time you failed at that? You'll never succeed." Or, "Oh, your failure is hardly surprising." Excited reactions to your setbacks, in contrast to empathy. They may express excitement at your lack of success. This behavior, whether conscious or unconscious, demonstrates a lack of respect and a clear enjoyment of another's misfortune. Examples include, "Finally, you didn't succeed. I've been waiting for this moment," or "I'm sure you won't overcome this challenge. Will you?" Underlying reasons for celebrating another's failure. Envy and jealousy. A primary reason for celebrating another's failure stems from envy or jealousy of their success or happiness. Witnessing their downfall creates a sense of superiority, potentially boosting their self-esteem. Lack of empathy. Some individuals lack the capacity for empathy or feel no distress at another's hardship. They may lack understanding of another's emotional state during failure, preventing them from sharing their pain or disappointment. Satisfaction in another's defeat. Observing another's failure can provide a sense of satisfaction or contentment, reinforcing their perception of themselves as superior. This indicates a potential for arrogance or insecurity. Self-validation. Some individuals may rejoice in another's failure to validate their judgments, advice, or opinions. They may view the failure as confirmation of their prescience, bolstering their sense of self-importance. Insecurity. Individuals may celebrate another's failure due to their own insecurities. Witnessing another's struggles alleviates their own anxieties by demonstrating that they are not alone in facing difficulties. Impact of celebrating another's failure. Damage to self-esteem and confidence. The act of celebrating another's failure can severely damage their self-esteem and confidence. It can leave them feeling undervalued and distrustful of others. Feelings of loneliness and abandonment. The lack of shared sorrow or disappointment can lead to feelings of loneliness and abandonment. The celebratory response prevents the individual from finding solace or support. Damaged relationships. Celebrating another's failure can severely damage interpersonal relationships. Trust, respect, and empathy erode, diminishing the desire for connection and shared experiences. Increased tension and conflict. Such behavior can create tension and conflict, leading to arguments and a breakdown in communication. Have you observed these signs in your relationships? If you find yourself struggling with someone, carefully examine their behavior to determine if they are exhibiting genuine signs of dislike. Prioritize self-preservation and cultivate relationships only with those who demonstrate respect and trustworthiness. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more insightful content. Share your experiences in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.